Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Arogya paramang labha, santuti paramang danam, wisasa paramang nati, nibbanam paramang sukham. Health is the biggest advance. Satisfaction is the most valuable wealth. Trust is the best brother. Nibbana is the highest happiness. Ladies and gentlemen, and happy brother and sister, please welcome the Buddhist greeting, Soti Hotu, Namo Buddhaya. I am truly happy that this evening I can speak in front of you all. Let us first glorify our master teacher, the Buddha, who has given us health. Here, I will talk a little about health, like what is stated in the Dhammapada quote that I said earlier. In this pandemic, it is indeed very difficult for us to communicate and even gather together to listen to the Dhamma. But now, I want to share stories and ways as Buddhists in dealing with the coronavirus that surrounds us. Ladies and gentlemen, happy brother and sister, health in this case is a very valuable wealth, according to what the Buddha had said. It is said that at the time of the Buddha, there was a story told of a king who was accustomed to eating lots and delicious, so that the health becomes bad and suffered from disease. The king then went to see the Buddha and asked for advice. The Buddha advised the king to eat as modestly as possible. Then the king did what the Buddha advised. Then he became healthy. When the king related his recovered health, the Buddha explained the four sources of happiness listed in the Dhammapada above. In addition to the story, there is also a story at the time of the Buddha. There was a village that was hit by a catastrophic disease. Many people were starving to death and robbed. The Buddha suddenly visited the place and recited the prayer of protection known as the Ratana Sutta. Instantly, the place became clean and free from sorts of disease. So, at the time, humans carry out prayers of protection every night to avoid the plague. Based on these two stories, we can learn that eating too much can make the body condition is not good. You should eat enough and simple foods that can support life. In addition, it is necessary to lead prayer for protection every day and maintain personal hygiene to avoid epidemics. In the current pandemic condition, the government has also provided health regulation for all people to avoid the coronavirus. As a society, we should obey what has been the rule and uninstructed to all of us. But now, there are still many people who don't comply with government regulation. This is also the impact of the spread of the coronavirus that has not subsided until now. If people obey the rules that have been set, this can anticipate and reduce the spread of the coronavirus. Ladies and gentlemen, and happy brother and sister, in dealing with the coronavirus, there are several things that have been set by the government to reduce the spread of the virus, include wearing a mask when going to travel, always washing hands with soap, keeping a distance of at least 1 meter or 2 meters, providing hand sanitation, and staying at home. This has a connection with the teaching of Buddhism, where we can assume this method and have a positive value if we relate to the teaching of Buddhism. First, through the advice we wear a mask that work to cover our mouth and nose so as not to be affected by the coronavirus. As with Buddhism, he teaches us all to always take care of our mouth so as not to expel dirty things, so that the function of the mouth is to filter out which ones are positive and which are negative ones after we cycle. This means keep your mouth should not to say what that can hurt others. Third, keeping a distance means to distance yourself from the opportunity to speak that is not good to avoid gossiping others. Ladies and gentlemen, happy brother and sister of the Buddha teach about how to overcome illness. In the Girimananda Sutta and the Abhidhammatasanggaha, there are 4 reasons that cause illness. First, the influence of climate or utu that is not in accordance with the condition of the body. Therefore, during this pandemic, it was fortunate enough to live in the tropics because it has enough sunlight so that the COVID-19 outbreak was not as severe as its comers. Sunbathing in the morning is highly recommended. Second, cows be by food or ahara. It is supposed to maintain cleanliness, especially washing hands well so that germs do not enter the body. Trying to eat healthy food to prevent transmission of the disease. You should stay at home alone. If you need to travel, you should wear a mask. Avoid the crowd or keep your distance from others. Third, there is the influence of the mind or citta. In this pandemic, you should not read too much hoax news. Negative thoughts such as sadness, fear, anger, annoyance, hate, anxiety, worry have a big influence in weakening the body's condition and aggravating the sick. Fourth, the consequence of bad deeds are also the cause of disease. Now is the time to do more good by providing assistance such as money, food, health equipment to the body. These four things need to be heeded, so the illness that arises is not enough just to be dealt with by prayer, reading Barita only, but it is indeed necessary to strengthen our mentality. Besides, not all diseases are the result of bad karma. Disease can arise due to the influence of climate, food, and mind. Therefore, consider the four definitions of Dhamma as food. Choose a little description of the Dhamma that I gave. Hopefully, what I have said can be useful for all of us and can be a guideline for a healthier life, and let us together fight the coronavirus by adhering to health protocols, staying at home, and maintaining our health for ourselves and family. If there are flaws and wrong words in my delivery, I am apologies, and to end this Dhammadesana tonight, let us say it together. Sabe Sata Bhavantu Sukhitata. May all living beings be happy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Final word from Soti Hotu. Namo